for us as Lafarge. And what I see here today is another walking the talk. It all falls under the same umbrella for us, is how truly we are committed to our people, to our communities, to our environment, to our stakeholders.
For us in Lafarge Africa Plc, innovation is at the core of our strategy. It transcends all that we do. We have fully embraced innovation, not just as a concept, but as a way of life. So we're not just only selling product, we are selling a solution. So for us, it is to build a world that is greener, smarter, and that works for all. We've just launched LNG trucks. What this would do, it would reduce pollution, it will reduce carbon emission, it would take out costs, so maintenance costs would be reduced.
The real goal behind the ideation was to deliver something that basically reduced our emission significantly. But as procurement and logistics people, obviously we also look at cost and we look at efficiency as well. It was critical to get the right partner to flow with so as to ensure the sustainability of the project.
So this initiative came out of the fact that we want to reduce our CO2 emissions when we transport our goods. If you look at the number of trucks that we started injecting, of course this will help to further deliver our products to our end users, of course in a sustainable and green manner. So for sure, from a business growth, we are increasing our capacity to deliver to our customers. This is the beginning, right, for us in this journey to green and transporting sustainably.
It is extremely impactful because with this technology, it is something that is quite available in most of the countries. So we are not awaiting a technology that is still under development, especially if we talk about hydrogen. So at industrial scales, that's trucks that can be quite easily provided. The second thing is that when you need to fill those trucks, it doesn't require a high level of infrastructures implemented in the country.
Ecologic is partnering with Lafarge to reduce carbon emissions in the supply chain and ultimately improve the quality of life where Lafarge operates.
Adébáyọ̀ ó ṣe iṣẹ́ ọ̀kadà nígbà tí pẹ́ntì yẹn wà àráyè ṣiṣẹ́. In fact ó wà fẹ́ ti wá gan o.
Àrùn jẹjẹ àárín kankan jẹ aṣáàdúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run pé Ọlọ́run ò jẹ́ kó wà fẹ́ ti ẹ̀mí wa.
The project itself is very unique. It's a tripartite partnership between the state, Lafarge PLC, and Unilever PLC. While Lafarge PLC took charge of the cost of the construction of the building, Unilever PLC picked up the bill for equipping this facility with all that is necessary for the care of those who may be using it. On behalf of the government and the people of the state, I wish to thank Lafarge PLC and Unilever PLC.
Once again, we have taken the bull by the horn, and I dare say, in time to address a global health issue that is threatening to sink our very existence. Today, we are commissioning an 80-bed isolation center here in Ogun State as part of our response and contribution aimed at supporting the efforts of the government to control and manage the spread of the coronavirus amongst our people. The project is an outcome of a partnership with one of Africa's largest building solutions conglomerates, Lafarge Africa Plc.
The new 80-bed facility in this isolation center will enhance the capacity to isolate and treat new cases of the new coronavirus infection and COVID-19. This is a strong strike to the pandemic because it contributes to the objective of breaking the chain of local transmission of the virus, limiting infection. This new isolation center takes us nearer to the goal of eliminating the coronavirus. It will assist our economy to enter a post-pandemic phase fully, thus boosting investment, productivity, and job creation.
Health and safety is a core value for Lafarge Africa Plc, and so in everything that we do, really, this is integrated. And just like we care for our employees and all the stakeholders within the areas where we operate, we're also very particular about our relationship with the government and the sort of impact that we can make on the communities where we operate.
We got ambulances from Lafarge, we got food and hygiene products from Unilever, and they did not stop that support at that stage. I want to really extend my appreciation to the management of Unilever and Lafarge.
The launch of this center is significant to us because it's a demonstration of how we are committed to building resilient communities. It also shows our demonstration to corporate citizenship as a good corporate citizen of Ogun State and Nigeria as a whole.
Because of the sustainability initiatives that we do, we've been working across the country in working with different states governments to help beef up the development in the healthcare delivery system.
We wanted to support the government of Ogun State in making sure that they had a facility that could take care of people who had COVID and as well take care of other types of ailments. And so this facility has a lot of purpose-built equipment in there. The CT scans, dialysis machine, a PCR machine for tests. And we increased the capacity of the hospital by twice its size by providing this 80-bed isolation center.
Unilever has a purpose to make sustainable living commonplace. We have been doing this for a while, and we invest in various activities and programs and initiatives to help make people and the planet a better place. So in partnership with Lafarge, we had reached out to the Ogun State government and we had put the isolation center in place.
Lafarge Africa, we're a member of the Holcim group, the world's leader in innovative and sustainable building solutions, and our focus is on building progress for people and the planet.
We are here to thank you for giving us back all those things that you have given for us.
Today is a remarkable day for Ado-Ota local government and Ogun State in general. I want to say thank you.
By establishing this 80-bed isolation center, we are more than grateful, sir.
A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Lafarge àti Unilever pé owó ṣe gudugudu méje ìyàyà mẹ́fà. A máa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn náà ni pé ọ̀hún á ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́.
Ọlọ́run máa bùkún wọn, a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn.
Today for Lafarge Africa PLC, we are really walking the talk. So when we talk about sustainability, when we talk about gender diversity, when we talk about equality, we are really demonstrating today that we are committed to what we are saying and we are really walking the talk.
To the 31 graduates, look, this is the beginning of a great career ahead of you. So I'm encouraging you to be focused, to be committed and to be dedicated. We're really looking forward to having you in the Lafarge ecosystem.
So now you've graduated from this training course, we expect you to make the right decisions behind the wheel every single day, maybe to have conversations with your peers on road safety, the items that worry them, that worry you, finding solutions together, but also engaging maybe with the younger generations. As women, we have sisters, we have daughters, we have nieces that we can inspire to become truck drivers just like us.
I'm particularly proud of this initiative, being a female myself, and I think it's a milestone in the history of our country as well, seeing female come into the truck driving space.
To Astrid, I want to say she did a fantastic job in supporting us to refine the quality of our training, and that has brought us this far. And to also thank Lafarge Group, member of Holcim. Our chairman, I will reach out to you personally so that we ensure that we bring in more from the community.
We started then with 80 drivers, and as I speak today, Lafarge Driving School have graduated over 1,000 drivers. To improve on the quality of the training that we deploy to continue to drive good behaviors and safer behavior from the drivers that we have.
So today I want to congratulate the graduates. The journey starts now to ensure that you put into practice all that you have learned, and to also assure Lafarge that the Federal Road Safety Corps will not relent in collaborating with you.
If there's anybody who is careful, it's a woman. Lafarge want to tell you thank you because you have started a new thing. And this thing you have started, I want to assure you that the vehicle inspection services throughout the country, which I happen to be the national chairman, will cooperate with you in all states where you operate.
So we are grateful for this occasion of today, and we are hopeful as it goes on, we will equally still have more women that are in this training.
You know, women, we are multi-sided, so we expect, of course, less accidents because of, we are even more precise, more focused.
Today, by His grace, we have 31 of them that will be graduating today. They are not just graduating today, they are also moving on to the next level, which is called the mentorship.
We as the female truckers have been taught to be defensive drivers, and we have considered them as much. We are just here to do what we can and to do it well.
For us as Lafarge, and what I see here today is another walking the talk. It all falls under the same umbrella for us, is how truly we are committed to our people, to our communities, to our environment, to our stakeholders.
For us in Lafarge Africa Plc, innovation is at the core of our strategy. It transcends all that we do. We have fully embraced innovation, not just as a concept, but as a way of life. So we're not just only selling product, we are selling a solution. So for us, it is to build a world that is greener, smarter, and that works for all. We've just launched LNG trucks. What this would do, it would reduce pollution, it will reduce carbon emission, it would take out costs, so maintenance costs would be reduced.
The real goal behind the ideation was to deliver something that basically reduced our emission significantly. But as procurement and logistics people, obviously we also look at cost and we look at efficiency as well. It was critical to get the right partner to flow with so as to ensure the sustainability of the project.
So this initiative came out of the fact that we want to reduce our CO2 emissions when we transport our goods. If you look at the number of trucks that we started injecting, of course, this will help to further deliver our products to our end users, of course, in a sustainable and green manner. So for sure, from a business growth, we are increasing our capacity to deliver to our customers. This is the beginning, right, for us in this journey to green and transporting sustainably.
It is extremely impactful because with this technology, it is something that is quite available in most of the countries. So we are not awaiting a technology that is still under development, especially if we talk about hydrogen. So at industrial scales, that's trucks that can be quite easily provided. The second thing is that when you need to fill those trucks, it doesn't require a high level of infrastructures implemented in the country.
Ecologic is partnering with Lafarge to reduce carbon emissions in the supply chain and ultimately improve the quality of life where Lafarge operates.
Adébáyọ̀ ó ṣe iṣẹ́ ọ̀kadà nígbà tí plenty yẹn wà àráyè ṣiṣẹ́ in fact ó wà fẹ́ ti wá gan o.
àrùn jẹjẹ àrí ìbọ̀kan jẹ aṣáàdúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run pé Ọlọ́run ò jẹ́ kó wà fẹ́ ti ẹ̀mí wa.
This project itself is very unique. It's a tripartite partnership between the state, Lafarge PLC, and Unilever PLC. While Lafarge PLC took charge of the cost of the construction of the building, Unilever PLC picked up the bill for equipping this facility with all that is necessary for the care of those who may be using it. On behalf of the government and the people of the state, I wish to thank Lafarge PLC and Unilever PLC.
Once again, we have taken the bull by the horn, and I dare say, in time to address a global health issue that is threatening to sink our very existence. Today, we are commissioning an 80-bed isolation center here in Ogun State as part of our response and contribution aimed at supporting the efforts of the government to control and manage the spread of the coronavirus amongst our people. The project is an outcome of a partnership with one of Africa's largest building solutions conglomerates, Lafarge Africa Plc.
The new 80-bed facility in this isolation center will enhance the capacity to isolate and treat new cases of the new coronavirus infection and COVID-19. This is a strong strike to the pandemic because it contributes to the objective of breaking the chain of local transmission of the virus, limiting infection. This new isolation center takes us nearer to the goal of eliminating the coronavirus. It will assist our economy to enter a post-pandemic phase fully, thus boosting investment, productivity, and job creation.
Health and safety is a core value for Lafarge Africa PLC, and so in everything that we do, really, this is integrated. And just like we care for our employees and all the stakeholders within the areas where we operate, we're also very particular about our relationship with the government and the sort of impact that we can make on the communities where we operate.
We got ambulances from Lafarge.
Esteemed shareholders, ladies and gentlemen, It is with pleasure that I welcome you to the 63rd Annual General Meeting of our great company, Lafarge Africa Plc, which has been duly convened and properly constituted. I hope you and your respective families are staying safe. Before we proceed with the business of the meeting, I would like to request that we observe 1 minute silence in honor of Engineer Joseph Makoju, who passed away 11th of April 2022. Engineer Makoju was Chief Executive Officer of West African Portland Cement, and prior to that, he was plant manager in Shagamu, and he was engineer in Ewekoro. He actually cut his teeth in our company, and he remained to the last day a friend of this company. Shall we rise and observe 1 minute silence? May his soul rest in peace. The company obtained the approval of Corporate Affairs Commission to hold this AGM by proxy in accordance with CAC's guideline on holding annual general meeting of public companies using proxy. This meeting is also being streamed live for shareholders, regulators, stakeholders, and observers that are not physically present and who wish to participate virtually. I would like to thank all our shareholders, whether in attendance at this meeting or watching virtually, for your continued support to the board, management, staff of our company. May I also use this opportunity to appreciate our regulators for continually creating the enabling regulatory environment for companies like ours to thrive. I will now call on the company's registrar, Messrs. Cardinal Stone Registrars, represented by Managing Director Mr. Adeola, to provide us with a report of the proxy forms received before we proceed.
Good morning, Chairman of Lafarge Africa Plc. Good morning, Directors of Lafarge Africa Plc. Good morning, distinguished shareholders. For this annual general meeting, we received 533 proxies for 14,509,395,226 units of shares of Lafarge Africa Plc, and that translates to 90.08% of total share capital of the company. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Adeola. The company secretary has informed me that we have a quorum for this meeting. In accordance with Article 59 of the company's Article of Association, I therefore declare the meeting open. I will now call on the safety manager of Eco Hotels and Suites to give us a safety brief.
Good morning, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all to Eco Hotel and Suites. My name is Ganiyu Taiwo, and I'm here to briefly tell you a few things about our safety and security arrangements. First and foremost, I would like to remind you, this hall is known as the Grand Ballroom of Eco Hotel and Suites, and the hall is fortified with a lot of safety gadgets and measures to ensure safety of lives and properties. Also, today we don't envisage any kind of emergency, but be rest assured, we are fully prepared to contain any form of emergency that may arise. In case the fire alarm rings and it rings continuously, we believe the emergency is real, and we expect everybody to evacuate this room immediately. As it stands, the main entrance from where you come into the room stands as the only fire exit from this room. And the nearest muster point is at the front of Eco Signature. Also, mind you, we have members of emergency response teams around that will guide you in case there is any need to evacuate this room. Also, we have medical facility within the premises. We have doctors in the clinic and other medical personnel, including the paramedics. Also, we have guest shuttle bus at the front of the main hotel that can assist in case it happens. Likewise, we still believe that COVID-19 is still very active. We like to indulge you to try as much as possible to observe every COVID-19 protocols. As for the lavatories, in case you might need to use it, just walk out from the main entrance, turn left, walk down and turn left again. On your way towards the Eco Signature building, there you can find a restroom for both the ladies and gentlemen. You can find hand sanitizers everywhere you go within the premises, to include, but not limited to, the entrances of the lavatories. In case you have any concern, any observation or question, please talk to us. We are on ground and we shall respond to you immediately. Once again, I welcome you all and I wish you a splendid day. Thank you.
In line with the notice of this meeting and our 2021 annual report and accounts, and our annual report and accounts already in your possession, we have the business of the meeting set before us. Shareholders will have opportunity to consider each item on the agenda and second the motion put to the meeting. Shareholders asking questions should speak clearly into the microphone available in the hall for the broadcast of the proceedings, and please commence by stating your names. Before proceeding with the formal business, I would like to briefly introduce members of the board of directors of your company that are physically present. Mr. Khalid El Dokani, the Group Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer. Mr. Lulu Alade Akiyemi, the Chief Financial Officer. Mrs. Elenda Giwa Amu, Non-Executive Director. Mr. Grant Engshaw, Non-Executive Director. We have other directors who have joined virtually. Mrs. Karen Uzan Mercy, Non-Executive Director. Mr. Gbenga Oyebode, MFR, Independent Non-Executive Director. Mrs. Oyikon Adewale, Independent Non-Executive Director. Mrs. Virginie Dabo, Non-Executive Director. I am Adebode Adefioye, Chairman of the Board. I would like to inform shareholders of the resignation of Mr. Makoli Kata. Mr. Makoli Kata, a non-executive director, resigned from the Board of Directors with effect from 5th April 2022. Following his resignation, Mr. Likata will not be presented for re-election at this meeting. On behalf of the board, I wish him the very best in his future endeavors. Mr. Likata has been replaced by Mr. Caspar Taylor on the board of the company, and he is incidentally present at this meeting, so may I use this opportunity to show to you, our esteemed shareholders, who Mr. Caspar Taylor, the replacement for Makoli Kata, will be. Caspar. Thank you for joining me in welcoming him. Also present is the company secretary and general counsel, Mrs. Adeomi Alode. I deliberately emphasize the general in front of the council. The profile of all our directors and the company secretary are on pages 16 to 20 of the 2021 annual report and accounts. Audit committee members. The shareholder representatives and members of the audit committee who served in the year 2021 are the chairman of the committee, Mr. Adebayo Adeleke. Mr. David Adejuwon and Mr. Timothy Adekombi. I also acknowledge the presence of Moradeke Adewolu and Olaide Shoyola, representing Stanbic IBTC nominees, one of our institutional shareholders. Independent auditor. The firm of KPMG acted as our independent auditor during the year under review. Mrs. Toyin Igbagi is the audit partner representing the firm at this meeting. Regulators. The Nigerian Exchange Group is ably represented by Ms. Brenda Duke, who is joining us virtually. Representing Securities and Exchange Commission is Mr. Ebuwiwe Obinna. The Corporate Affairs Commission has informed us that they will not be sending a representative to this meeting. A report of the meeting will be shared with the Commission. I will now call on the Company Secretary to read the notice of the meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, esteemed shareholders. With your kind permission, I will like to read only the agenda of the notice of meeting. May I proceed? Thank you. Notice of annual general meeting. Notice is hereby given that the 63rd annual general meeting of Lafarge Africa Plc, the company, will hold at the Grand Ballroom Eco Hotel and Suites, Plot 1415 Adetokunbo Ademola Street, Victoria Island, Lagos, on Thursday, 21st April 2022 at 10 a.m. to transact the following business. Ordinary business. To lay before the shareholders the audited financial statement for the year ended 31st December 2021, together with the report of the directors, independent auditors, and audit committee thereon. 2, to declare a final dividend. 3, to re-elect the following directors who, being eligible, offer themselves for re-election. A, Mr. Grant Enshaw, non-executive director. B, Mrs. Karen Uzan Mercy, non-executive director. 4, to authorize the directors to fix the remuneration of the independent auditors. 5, to elect members of the audit committee. 6, to disclose the remuneration of the managers. Special business. To fix the remuneration of the directors. 8, to consider and pass this resolution as an ordinary resolution, pursuant to the Nigerian Exchange Issuers Rule, that the general mandate given to the company to enter into recurrent transactions with related parties or interested persons for the company's day-to-day operations, including the procurement of goods and services, and to enter into such incidental transactions on normal commercial terms, be and is hereby renewed. 9, to consider and, if thought fit, pass the following resolutions as ordinary resolutions. A, that the directors be and are hereby authorized to take all steps necessary to comply with the requirements of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020 and the Companies Regulations 2021, as it relates to unissued shares of the company, including the cancellation of 3,892,204,279 unissued ordinary shares of the company. B, that the directors be and are hereby authorized to enter into and execute agreements, deeds, notices, or any other documents, and to perform all acts and to do all such other things necessary for or incidental to giving effect to Resolution 9A, including without limitation, appointing such professional parties, consultants, and advisors, and complying with the directives of the regulatory authorities. 10, to consider and pass the following resolutions as special resolutions. A, that pursuant to Resolutions 9, the directors be and are hereby authorized to amend and substitute Clause 6 of the Memorandum of Association of the company to read: the share capital of the company is 8,053,897,860 naira 50 kobo divided into 16,107,795,721 ordinary shares of 50 kobo each. B, that the directors be and are hereby authorized to enter into and execute agreements, deeds, notices, or any other document, and to perform all acts and to do all such things necessary for or incidental to giving effect to Resolutions 10, including without limitation, appointing such professional parties, consultants, and advisors, and complying with the directives of the regulatory authority. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Company Secretary. Audit Committee members. I've done that now. While I was introducing members of your board of directors, I inadvertently omitted Mrs. Adenike Ogulesi. Mr. Denike Ogunlesi is joining us virtually also, and I tender unreserved apology for that omission. Independent auditors. Mbolade. You read this? Okay. Yeah. It's not here. Esteemed shareholders, the chairman's statement is on pages 11 to 13 of the annual reports and accounts. With your kind permission, may I take the statement as read? Thank you. I hereby take the chairman's statement as read. I will now call on the independent auditors, KPMG, and audit committee, and the audit committee to present their representative reports. I think Mr. Adeleke should go first. Where is she? Check. I didn't know. I have to put it. I can only read my own. I'm not reading their own. And that's a matter of sequence. Mr. Chairman, distinguished shareholders, good morning. I will, on behalf of the Audit Committee of Lafarge Africa Plc, be presenting the Audit Committee's report on page 46 of the annual reports and accounts. In accordance with section 404, subsection 7 of the Companies and Other Matters Act, CAMA 2020, we, the members of the Audit Committee, have reviewed and considered the independent auditor's report required to be made in accordance with section 404, subsection 7 of CAMA, and report as follows. 1. The scope and planning of the internal audit for the year ended 31st December 2021 are satisfactory, and the internal audit programs reinforce the company's internal control system. 2. The scope and planning of statutory audit for the year ended 31st December 2021 are satisfactory. 3. Having reviewed the independent auditor's management letter on accounting procedures and internal controls, we are satisfied with management's responses thereto. 4. The accounting and reporting policies for the year ended 31st December 2021 are in accordance with international financial reporting standards and applicable regulatory requirements. In our opinion, the scope and planning of the audit for the year ended 31st December 2021 were adequate, and management responses to the independent auditor's findings were satisfactory. Dated 24th February 2022 and signed by my humble self. Other members of the committee are Mr. David Adekombi, shareholders representative, Mr. Timothy Adejuan, shareholders representative, Mrs. Karin Uzamase, non-executive director, Mrs. Onyekon Adewale, independent non-executive director. Thank you very much, Chairman. Fellow shareholders, we have a big omission on our hand again. The representative of KPMG actually is not on the way. So may I please seek the indulgence of the House for Lulu, the CFO, to please read their report. Mr. Okeze, I know we will get her to join us by Zoom to confirm there is a report.
Can you hear me, sir? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, my name is Okezia Boniface. Mr. Chairman, in absence of KPMG not coming, can we connect them by Zoom to read this report to us?
Absolutely, we can do that.
If you cannot connect them to Zoom to read, one of us on this floor or the chairman of the committee can read the report. Instead of the director of finance who prepared this account to read it.
I take your counsel. I mean, all I want us to do is to proceed with the proceedings, and I will take your best counsel. Mr. Akinade.
Yeah, good morning, Chairman and members of the board and esteemed shareholders. Already we have the independent auditor's report in the annual report, and it's duly signed. I want to suggest that CFO can read it since it has been duly signed by the external auditors. That's my suggestion. Thank you.
Hello, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, Pastor Adio.
I want to suggest that because the man is going to connect us online, that we'll move a motion to defer him until he comes. Then move on with other things.
Thank you,
then
Mr.
We'll
Adio.
wait for him until he connects online.
Mr. Adio, please. Mr. Gbengaido.
Mr. Chairman and the House, I object to the CFO to read the annual report because they are the people who construct the report. I suggest on behalf of the shareholder representative, who is the chairman of the audit committee, to read the report.
So in that wise, I will ask Mr. Adeleke to please kindly assist us in reading it. Mr. Chairman, I have no choice than to do your bidding, just that I have to share out of the commission of KPMG. All right, the report of the independent auditor I stand to read on behalf of KPMG is on page 48. By the permission of the whole House, led by Pastor Alex Adio, all the way from Oshogbo in Osun State. The independent auditor's report to the shareholders of Lafarge Africa Plc. I will also read their opinion, the basis of opinion, the key audit matters. Opinion. We have audited the consolidated separate financial statements of Lafarge Africa Plc, the company, and its subsidiaries, together the group, which comprise the consolidated and separate statements of financial positions as at 31st December 2021, the consolidated and separate statements of profit or loss and other comprehensive income, the consolidated and separate statements of changes in equity, the consolidated and separate statements of cash flows for the year then ended, and the notes comprising significant accounting policies and other explanatory information. In our opinion, the accompanying consolidated and separate financial statements give a true and fair view of the consolidated and separate financial position of the company and its subsidiaries as at 31st December 2021, and of its consolidated and separate financial performance and its consolidated and separate cash flow for the year then ended in accordance with International Financial Reporting Standards, IFRS, and in the manner required by the Companies and Allied Matters Act, CAMA 2020, and the Financial Reporting Council of Nigerian Act 2011. Basis of opinion. We conducted our audit in accordance with international standards on auditing, ISAs. Our responsibilities under those standards are further described in the auditor's responsibilities for the audit of the consolidated and separate financial statements section of our report. We are independent of the group and company in accordance with International Ethics Standards Board for Accountants, International Code of Ethics for Professional Accountants, including International Independent Standards, i.e. SBA Code, together with the ethical requirements that are relevant to our audit of the consolidated and separate financial statements in Nigeria, and we have fulfilled our other ethical responsibilities in accordance with these requirements and the IESBA Code. We believe that the audit evidence we have obtained is sufficient and appropriate to provide the basis for our opinion. Key audit matters. The key audit matters are those matters that in our professional judgment were of most significance in our audit of the consolidated and separate financial statements of the current period. These matters were addressed in the context of our audit of the consolidated and separate financial statements as a whole, and informing our opinion thereon, and we do not provide a separate opinion on these matters. I'm trying to see, I'm trying to go to the last page. All right, I will go to page 52, where we have reports on other legal and regulatory requirements. Compliance with the requirements of Schedule 5 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act, CAMA 2020, we have obtained all the information and explanations which, to the best of our knowledge and belief, were necessary for the purpose of our audit. In our opinion, proper books of accounts have been kept by the company so far as appears from our examination of those books. The company's statements of financial position and statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income are in agreement with the books of accounts. Signed, Mrs. Oluwatoyin Gbagi, FCA, dated 28 February 2022, and sealed with the seal of KPMG. Thank you very much, Chairman. Thank you, shareholders. Thank you, Mr. Adeleke, and thank you to the whole House. Agenda number 1, ordinary business. The first item on the agenda is to lay the audited financial statements for the year ended 31st December 2021, together with the reports of the directors, external auditors, and audit committee before the shareholders. The accounts and reports have been circulated to all shareholders as required by law. I hereby lay the audited financial statement for the year ended 31st December 2021, the reports of the directors and the auditors and the audit committee reports thereon before the meeting. Shareholders have an opportunity to ask questions relating to the accounts and reports. In doing so, please refer to the page on the annual report and accounts to which the question relates. Please note that all questions will be taken together and answers provided thereafter. Our
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Very distinguished fellow shareholders. My name is Nona Awo. Chairman, let me confess that I was getting worried when the issue of the auditors started. And my worry had to do with how is it likely to end, because everybody is likely to want to bring his or her opinion on the table. But realizing that one of the things that you talked about, which was part of the starting for this meeting, is that we observe a minute silent for Joseph Makoju. I'll be pleading, having spent a better life, a better part of his life serving this company, that we should also honor him by not necessarily have to raise questions other than item-related questions. So I'll be pleading with my fellow shareholders, let's go to item 1, put approval, but when we get to the other items, if there are specific questions, for instance, that relates to dividend, on issue shared cancellation, those are the issues that we raise. That way, I think, we'll be honoring him and also thanking him for the role that he has played before we got to where we are. That's my humble suggestion and observation. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Nonahawo. Your opinion is highly appreciated, and I am sure the whole House will join in saying, today being a solemn day, notwithstanding what, let us try and be as orderly as possible. General Adeshogun.
Our able chairman, members of the board, distinguished shareholders, today, AGM is more or less a ceremony for us, trying to see the great job the board have done in turning around Lafarge PLC. So it is a turning point for this company to have achieved this feat. Now, let's look at the precarious situation of the economy of the country, then the frightening security situation. And despite all this, we're able to achieve this profitable result that we are celebrating today. I want us to give the board a hand of applause. Now, having said that, I will not fail to point our attention to what has culminated to this enviable report. I went through the report and I saw the strength of this board when it comes to the robust corporate governance strategy, especially the internal control mechanism and the enterprise risk management. As a security person, I wanted to advise that the situation is still not Uhuru. I want us to continue to review our risk assessment more often than it has been done before. I understand in 2021, the Risk Management Board sat for 3 times to review the situation because our country still needs a lot of prayer because of the economic situation. It's still very bad. Now, having said that, I will not attempt to go into the figures because I know that our capable people can take that one better. I want to observe the KPMG's action today. This is the magnitude of AGM is not to be treated in such a situation. I think it's a disrespect to the institution of Lafarge and to the shareholders in particular. I want to suggest and move that KPMG should be made to explain in writing why necessary action should not be taken against them. And shareholders should be duly informed about the outcome of these things. I won't take your time, please. Thank you for the honor.
Thank you, General Adeshogun. With the red tie.
Thank you, our amiable chairman. My name is Tunji Bamidele, President of Stala Shareholder Association of Nigeria. I will stand on the existing protocol. My chairman, with due respect to the board, we really appreciate you for this organization and the robust dividend. And I will pray God will continue to strengthen you. I have a few observations that I want to call your attention to. It's more or less an advisor. On the issue of page 9, special resolution, I have a plan B. Issue of deleting of on-issue shares. We have about 189 billion retained earning. And if the company can turn it to the bonus, I think it's another alternative. I want you to look at it very well, sir. On page 12 and page 43, CSRR, your donation is okay, sir. And there's 2 issues I want to call your attention to, especially Isagam Road leading to Lagos, where our company is there. Sir, last year I was invited to Lapsotet. In fact, around that area, we find it difficult to reach the destination in time due to the bad road. Please strengthen your CSR to make certain things happen in that area. Because I end up in hospital, that very issue, and the particular issue they gave to me, in fact, my vehicle was completely damaged, and I know the chairman will do something on that one today. Sir, page 53 and 54, my chairman, if you check the account very well, thing is increasing. In fact, the total asset is increasing. That is signal that the operation of the company is on upper hand. We really appreciate you. And I want you to look at what are you doing on unclaimed dividend, because about 1.something billion, how to be rich people before the government can claim it. Now, there's an information I heard on social media on our head office that we have started. Please, I want us to let us know the level of the structure and where it's located in Lagos. And on sustainability of the dividend, people are looking at you can pay 10 naira and whatever. Please, I want to appeal to the board and to the chairman on sustainability. We are expecting our dividend to move to the up. Finally, my chairman, I need to say thank you to the MD. Our MD, we really appreciate you because you turn around the company. And I won't say that with the support of the CFO, because you are 2 executives there, you have performed wonderfully well. And to that one, if you can be able to go through all these reports without error and omission, Secretariat also are performing excellently well. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Bamidele. Can I go to the gentleman at the back in gray?
Thank you, Chairman, for giving me this opportunity. My name is Adeleke Oladimeji. All protocols duly observed. Today's result is the best of its kind, because looking at all the figures here, they are all in positive. And not only that, Lafarge has really bounced back. We are now back on our feet. The loans, our loans is down to the minimum, and everything is looking robust. But I would like to chip in some few things. Number one, marketing and advertising, which is so important in this business. Ask me why. Our competitors are not sleeping. They are working around the clock to hijack this business. And for us to still stay in business, we must let people know what we are doing and we are doing. And advertising also is not only important. We also need to mix it with good public relation. I don't know, I've never seen Lafarge on social media. I believe we should have a social media page that will promote our goodwill, in which consumers, people around us, we know what we are doing, how we are doing. This thing will have boost our image, and we add a lot of things to us. Also, looking at the environment at which we operate, is highly competitive. We should look for a way in which our products can get to the consumers. One of our competitors have this small bike that, some of these sites where they build house are in rural area where the road is bad. So moving cement from the distributor to that place at times might take some time. It's not an easy task. So we should look for a way whereby we can give our distributors some things that will ease transportation of cement to where it is needed. Also, I observed page 99 under our expenses. Page 99, there is one item there, community relation. I believe community relation should stand under corporate social responsibilities. It should not be under admin expenses. I mean the fifth item on that row. Community relations should be under social responsibilities, should not be under admin expenses. Also, on page 142, we gave a loan to Ghana. I want to ask the effect of that loan and the purpose. Also, I realized in this account under Director 143, non-executive directors. My brother Adeleke, also my brother Mr. Adekombi's name are under non-executive directors list. I want to ask, it is very, very good for us if you can promote someone from this seat also to that seat. So let's look for someone here that is capable, that have known the company for a long time, and promote them to non-executive director. Also, I would like to ask, in this account, the new Code of Corporate Governance says the salaries of senior managers and top directors should be disclosed. It's not in this account. And lastly, I would like to really thank the company, because, under the difficult environment at which we operate, it's not an easy task, but cooking this result it has really showed us that we have a company and board of management that are capable and really what they are doing. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Oladimeji. Mr. Okeze.
Mr. Chairman of Lafarge PLC, Distinguished Director, of our great company, eminent fellow shareholder, good morning. My name is Shokezia Boniface. Mr. Chairman, I think the thing of this morning that stunned me, if not that KPMG signed this report, who would have assumed that there's a problem in Lafarge that made him to stay. But the report was really signed, and that is my happiness. I know that Lafarge can never play any prank in terms of corporate governance, because you have come of age in this business. Mr. Chairman, somebody alluded that, we should query them. You don't have power to query them. That's the truth. But unfortunately, in this country, where regulators have failed woefully to perform their duty, and when they come at the AGM, they say they observe. SEC is here, is one that registered them to operate in the capital market. That's the one should take the message back to the office, even if to issue a query. It is SEC that ought to query them, because SEC licensed them to operate in to auditing the company that are quoted in the stock market. That is the duty of SEC. Not coming here as an observer. Because if they are coming here and observe this as not right, I don't know how they report back. They are coming to the AGM, it's wasted if they're not doing the obligations. It's not mopping up money from the company on claim given that should reside the company that declares it. And when the shareholder come forward, the registrar have to write that company to demand the money to disburse to them, to pay to the shareholders. It is not SEC. Government have no business taking people who are suffered to invest in a company. If they are not come forward to declare their dividend, government also have contributed in making people not to come forward to claim their dividend because of the problem associated with the postal system in the country. When people relocated, change of address is another problem. It's a failure of government, not mopping up money taken to Abuja. It does not belong to SEC. It does not belong to government. So those companies have not gone into extinctions. The companies will have those money for their own better use. Instead of taking it for the government, what is government doing for the people of populace? Absolutely nothing. They are not helping us. If you are sick on your own, you pay your children's hospital bill. If support education, public institution does not work in this country. They are all collapsed. And you are not taking these poor people's money and going to Abuja to do what? Meanwhile, the shareholders are besieging the office of registrars, who are the people appointed by the company to disburse, to pay the money to the owners. But the reverse is the case. So SEC, you should take into consideration this morning that KPMG should pay for it. Penalize them, not the company. Otherwise, we will ask for their removal. That's only one company can do. That's only one channel can do. And ask for their removal. That's all. But because I don't know what happened, I can't vote for them. But they are a reputable firm. No doubt about that. And this is the first time in any company. If you are not going to come, there's a lot of people in their office to nominate. It does not necessarily the person that signed it to come and read on their behalf, But it's very unfortunate that they are not here today. But in worse scenario, we'll call for their removal. That's all. Mr. Chairman, if you look at page 99, what we pay the auditors' fees, and they will come here messing up things, It's unacceptable. In previous year, 85 million. The year in question for the company, 91 million. In the group, 100 million. In this year, we're talking about 107 million, 0.5. And still, you cannot come and read their report to us, That's abysmal. The highest intention of the, insult, disrespect to this company, under the chairmanship of Prince Adefoye. No, it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable, Mr. Chairman. Either we plan for the removal or that, Having said that, Mr. Chairman, I want to say on page 98, Mr. Chairman, I am frowned at money we spend here on advertisement, on advert. What do we advertise it? Cement is not really available. There are major producers of cement in this country. Lafarge is one, and other competitors. In years back, there was no cement anywhere, and the price went high. People are looking as if it's the hottest commodities, the scarce commodities. And we're advertising for what? In the midst of scarcity, I will spend such money in advertising. What do we advertise? Is it our building? Are we advertising on what? It is when the product is available and people are not coming forward to patronize that you do advert. Because Lafarge today is a strong cement, whether I would like it or not. I don't know which one is rated number 1 or number 2 or number 3 among the cement manufacturing company today. I should say that Lafarge is number 1, based on their quality product, based on their solid product that doesn't enable any building to collapse. If you are not used Lafarge to build, I can advertise for it, and you pay me that money. They're paying for outside advertising, because I have used it. I know it's what, in terms of solid structure, in terms of waterlogged area, in terms of swampy area. That's the cement you use and have a solid building. So which advice is more than that? Mr. Chairman, you have to pay me. Mr. Chairman, I want to also emphasize on page 42 and 43, that's donations you made to the host community is very commendable. Why a whopping 2.3 billion spent on communities. But I want to also say much more. We're giving building, reconstructing, pipe-borne water, etc., etc., which government to those communities are not providing. But if Lafarge are making the host community be happy, we also will be happy that our company is doing that. You don't have restrictiveness in the area you operate in. You don't have hostile communities confronting you. Yet the business will go smoothly and easy. So I want to commend you. And also remember those who are sitting here today, we also have communities. And if we have one project to the other that benefit our community, and when we write, Lafarge should not hesitate to accede to our request. It's very, very important. Not only to host community, we also have community where we come from. We can't be coming here to speaking and wasting our salivas and energy. So when we have need to support our local community and write our request, either hospital project or whatever project, it could be borehole to our community, you should also assist us. And see that it's very important. We also a stakeholder. Mr. Chairman, is very important. Otherwise, we'll be writing letter to you to explain all of this and to verify how this project has been done. Exactly. That's corporate governance. Having said that, Mr. Chairman, I joined my brother who made a suggestion. That's why I'm writing up here. I don't want to go further detail. My sister was concurring with me that even the worst director that was serving and went to our competitor, that he didn't go back to France at that time, was even more dangerous when I was comparing the two who left to serve our competitors. But nevertheless, the man that passed on had worked all his life for this company. I want to thank the current directors, my sister, Ellen Dagiwa, she's here today. We are proud of her contribution. The Secretariat have done very well in terms of quality annual report that one can keep in the shape of your books, I want to commend her. I want to commend the registrar. Even by the time we pass the payment now, Mr. Chairman, we will be having the alert so that these thieves in Abuja will not take our money. I want to commend the cardinal registrars. The financial officer, Laolu, you have done very well. Our loan have been reduced drastically. Our also any interest in the banks, our customers, I want to commend the good work you're doing. With this investor view, Mr. Chairman, next year, all things being equal, that's also going to be a reflection of the economy. If those driving of the economy perform well, the company operating will also do well. Because why we're not getting more dividend is because our government also taxing you much. They only require tax. How you are managing to pay this tax is not their concern. That's the problem we have in this country. Otherwise, if those money that we pay for tax are here today, we go home with 5 naira dividend. It's achievable. Mr. Chairman, my concern is to see availability of cement and make it cheaper for other Nigerians to own a home in their houses. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Okeze. Can I have Pastor Olagoke, please?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, all the board, my esteemed shareholder, good morning. My name is Pastor Olagoke Samson Olusegun, the president of the Impressive Shareholders Association, Incorporated. First and foremost, my own is just a few words. It's commendation. I commend our amiable chairman, together with our vibrant MD, Mr. Khalid, because we know where we are in year 2019, year 2020, but today is a celebration day. I highly commended you. Kudos to you, sir. I also, because this result we are considering today is very historical. Excellent, transparent. In fact, I don't know how to say again. Kudos to the management and the board. I really appreciate you, the wonderful work you are doing. When I go through the annual report, I say, why did we have this a successful performance? One, untiring effort of the MD. And then through all this pandemic and then insecurity in our country, the man is still performing very well. I really appreciate you. During your time, we achieved a success on completion of the Captivity Coal Power Plant, CCP, in Nashaka. We really appreciate that. Secondly, on 26th of July 2021, our Lafarge Africa Institute, LDI, in Calabar, graduated 53 female drivers. We really commend you for that. Third, the divestment of our CBI in Ghana Limited. The sales of our interest in the business was successfully completed in June 2021 at a gain of 134 million. We really appreciate you of carrying the value of the investment. 4, the handover completion of a fully fitted COVID-19 installation center at Otaogun State, etc., etc. Kudos to you, sir. Page 16 and 21. When I go through this page, I personally and the other shareholders believe that we have vibrant, hardworking, intelligent board and management that we take our company into a greater level. Kudos to you, sir. Page 154 to 160. Corporate event highly commended. We see all the pictures, all the events. We really appreciate. We really, even though very happy and very glad about it. Continue with that. May Almighty God be with you. Lastly, I commend the office of the company secretariat. In presence of Mrs. Adewumi Alode, she's very accommodative, loyal to the board and management and the shareholders, friendly to us, all the shareholders, and all the staff in our department, especially Mrs. Sanu. All the staff are doing very well. Kudos to you, ma. And also, let us remember, because this cake we are baking today, there are some people behind this also. All our staffs, they are doing very, very well. They are part and parcel of this success. Thank you for the opportunity given to me, Pastor Olagoke Samson Olusegun. God bless you all.
Thank you, Pastor Olagoke. Can I have the gentleman with the red cap?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Peter Enyanuku. All protocols observed. I won't repeat all other are said. I just want to rush down to some pages. So I'm going to page 53. I think our return of our company is really appreciated. But the cost of sale product, if we already take everything away, half of our profit, please look into it. It's very important. The second one is the trade and other receivable. I think the group is okay, but the company, let's try and get our money. This 32 billion naira is a lot of money. So let's try and get some money. Lastly, going to page 99, maybe it's a devil paint or whatever. The insurance. Last year I'm seeing 2 million plus, but this year is 213 million. I didn't know. So look into it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Peter Eyanuku. Can I have Tunde Badmus?
Thank you, sir, Mr. Chairman. Since the foundation has been laid solidly, I needn't start that again. I thank you for giving me this privilege, and at the risk of rhetoric, congratulate the board. They are all men of honor, and I hope and I'm confident that we will continue in that way, so that we attain the #1 position we deserve as the oldest manufacturer of cement in Nigeria. We can do it, and I'm sure with our chairman and this able board, ladies and gentlemen, that is what we are aiming at. I can see on this cover page the various innovations that the company has been working on, but I'm particularly interested in knowing more about the Joe cycle. So this is an energy-intensive business you are doing. How does it make it work? How does it affect our productivity and the cost? And I also want to know what other investment are we making as a company towards being less reliant on the national grid, since it's becoming lesser and lesser reliable. Regular national blackout or collapse of the national grid, which I believe is adding to the efficiency of the plant. And also, I want us to kindly maintain the culture of the company by looking inward. As soon as opportunities abide, our management and staff should be regularly considered before looking outside. For whenever you need hunting to be done, they are capable and they are efficient, and they've survived in harsh conditions. So kindly always consider them and let them be happier in terms of remuneration. And I don't want to waste time as being instructed. The company secretariat, well done. And the other supporting staff, we needn't be mentioning names. You are doing wonderfully well. And we thank the board for what you've been doing to support and make their job easier. Kindly go ahead along that line. I will quickly save time, go back, but don't forget about the CSR request we made from our hands. We need it. We'll keep on repeating it until you do that thing at Ibadan. At the risk of, I will spare our chairman for giving us a blanket condemnation yesterday, because he was one of us. And I know he didn't mean it. God bless you, Lafarge, and thank you for this privilege. My name is Tunde Badmus.
Thank you, Mr. Badmus. Can I have Pastor Adio?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, distinguished shareholders, Adio A. Alex is the name. Mr. Chairman, I want to start on this note that only a fool will argue with results. And if you notice the comment of virtually everybody, it has been commendation because you have a good result to showcase. So I want to say to the border management that you have done well. Not only that, I want to equally give kudos to those who laid the foundation for your coming in. I remember in the days when we would pass like 17 resolutions that will do this and that. Our trust as at then is not that it's going to be as easy as the magic one that the Lord has given you this time. So I want to say you keep it up. I want this interpretation quickly on page 7. This ash one in the east. What does that mean? You can tell me so that I can know. Now we are saying that you have a very good result. And for the people online and those that do not have access to this, permit me to just echo this page 8, which is your financial highlights. Revenue moved by 27.1%, 230 to 293. Operating profit from 45.7 to 65.1, 42.6%. Profit after tax, that is the cake that we are going to share, 30.8 to 51.0. That is about 65.4%. And earnings per share, 65.4, 1.91 to 3.17. And you gave us one interim, and we are having another 100 kobo to take away today. That's a good job. I think I will request, if there's no objection, that I will give them a round of applause for this. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to advise that, yes, we have competitors. They are doing well. We are equally doing well. We have the name. We have the brand. We have the quality. Let's do more. Push more. And whatever they are doing, they have not been able to push us aside. We still remain good Lafarge. Let's build on that so that we can do it better. Thank you, and God bless you, sir.
Thank you, Pastor. Comrade Ogutoye.
Good morning, my able chairman. Thank you for the opportunity. Standing as existing protocol. Once again, I'm Comrade Lawrence Oguntoye from Ibadan. First and foremost, I want to appreciate the management under the leadership of Mr. Khalid for being minimize the effect of uncertainty on our. Can I go ahead, sir? Go ahead. All right, thank you, sir.
Let's go ahead.
Yeah, I said I want to appreciate the management's effort for being proactive under the leadership of Abu GND, Mr. Khalid, for being minimize the effect of uncertainty on our operation. In spite of economic degradation, economic pressure, environmental degradation, the cost of a foreign exchange, you are able to present some, at least a reasonable result this time around at this tense economy. And also, part of your strategy for being proactive is the issue of the debt that was, I can't say that it was drastically reduced, but it was reduced minimal. It was reduced, and that shows that you are being proactive. And also, when I gone through the annual report, because much has been said as regards the financial indices, I can also give kudos to the Chief Financial Officer, that's our CFO, Mr. Lulu. You've done excellently. You've done excellently. Based on my profession, when I gone through it, I couldn't find error. You perform wonderfully, so just keep it up. And I want to advise the management to be unwavering at this time around, that they should maintain their focus. They should be more proactive, more than before. I don't have much questions. I don't have questions here because I would like to join what my able colleague said here, that's Mr. Nanawo, so as to give regard to someone here. I want to keep that question because few has been asked, but I want to quickly submit to the office of the company secretary for being accessible. And I sent that to commend Abu's sister, that's Sister Anu, and also the crew for being working effectively for the progress of our reputable Giants organization. But lastly, sir, I observed that there's a new product called 3D technology, and I would like you to give it an aggressive advert nationwide for people to patronize, because I just observe it now. If not for what I observe here, I would have known what's called this issue of called 3D. So give it an aggressive advert for people to see, so as to patronize them all. And I believe that for you being proactive, you're working towards the sustainability and profitability. We're going to enjoy better things, better profitability next year, God's willing. So I want to say congratulations to the Lafarge and also the distinguished ladies and gentlemen, while I wish every one of us safe journey to our respective home. Thank you for the opportunity. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you, Comrade Lawrence. Can I have Evangelist Abayomi? Madam, I'm going to call all the women. All the women.
Thank you, sir, Mr. Chairman, for this opportunity. I'm very grateful. And in fact, I'm very happy to be in Lafarge AGM this year, because Lafarge has really made us proud and made us very happy with their performance. So I thank you so much, Mr. Chairman, and the board. The name once again is Abayomi Adebayo, the National Coordinator for Passionate Shareholders Association of Nigeria Incorporated. And we're actually very passionate about anything that has to do with Lafarge. I'm going to the annual report, because a lot have been said, and I will try as much as possible not to repeat what the first speakers have said. Chairman, I'll start my comment from page 10. My joy there is not only that you are paying us a final dividend of 2 naira today, but that you are paying it today. So I'm really very happy for that, and I really appreciate you so much for that. Sorry, that is on page, yes, page 10. You are paying us our dividend today. I'm very happy for that. That means we are expecting something in our account today. Chairman, on page 14, where we have the names of our directors, I stand to be corrected. We have 11 directors on the list, but I noticed that there are just 2 EDs, which is the group MD and the CFO. So I don't know, I think the workload may be too much on the 2 of them alone, being the only 2 EDs out of, on the board of 11 directors. So that's one of my concerns on that page, Mr. Chairman. Going forward, on page 24, I also have some concerns to raise there on page 24. And one of my concerns there is where we have directors' interest in the shares of the company. As I earlier said, we have 11 directors on the board, but I also noticed on this page that only Mrs. Elenda Giwa Amu is the only director that has the shares of our company. I also stand to be corrected. Although I agree that there is no law that says all directors on the board must have the shares of the company. But in the situation whereby out of 11 directors, only 1 director is having the share of that company, and this book, this annual report will go to places. People can live here and take this annual report to other states or even outside this country. And if other investors come across this report and look at this page, seeing only 1 director having the shares of the company, it may give them an impression that maybe even the directors do not believe in the company. And as much as even the company is performing very well and paying good dividend now, I think I will also join the other directors to join us so that we can share this cake together. So this is one of the concerns I have on that page. Going forward on page 28, I want to commend the board for their commitment for attending all board meetings and even all the other subcommittees of the board. they showed a great high level of commitment by attending all their meetings. And apart from all these points, I also listed about 2 other concerns which I also have regarding the company. Chairman, I observe that despite the fact that I think the federal government has lifted the ban on restriction and other things regarding COVID-19, I observed that in our head office, 27B Gerard Road, the staff and management are still working from home. Is there any strong reason for this? Because all other companies have been working physically in the office. So I don't know if there's any strong reason why this is still so. And likewise, I am happy that in this annual report, we have a list of our distributors. And somebody has advised that there should be their business phone number there. But apart from this, I also want to strongly advise that as a cement producing company, apart from having this long list of distributors, I think if we have not gotten this yet, we should have a strong partnership with the major users of our product. And when I say the major users of our product, I mean those big and renowned construction companies that takes contracts here and there, that construct giant buildings, that construct roads and bridges from time to time. Some of them, you can talk of Julius Berger, Abico, Kapan Dabalto. Do you have any partnership with these renowned and big construction companies? We can, from time to time, invite them, liaise with them, and show them the strength and how good our product is. Tell them why they should always patronize us and use our product. If we can succeed in this, so those construction companies, they will end up going for a cement anytime they have a construction work. So this is one of my advice, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Madam. Mrs. Augusta.
Mr. Chairman, my name is Esther Funke Augustine. I am the coordinator of God-Gift Shareholders Association. Mr. Chairman, I will not be alone that will not give praise to this company. We have come a long way with this company, and today we are very happy. You can see that everybody is happy here, and the reason is being that we are taking something home. To me personally, I thought many companies will not deliver dividends because of the problem that we are having, because the economy itself is very bad. But since that we are going home with something, I thank you with your board members and everybody in this company that they have done well, and we thank them. We appreciate you very well. A lot have been said here, Mr. Chairman, but there is a point in my mind that agitates in my mind is the youth. Let us put them into consideration. Let us employ youth in our company. Yorùbá sọ wípé ọwọ́ tó bá dilẹ̀ òun lèṣù máa ń yálò. Many of them, they are graduates, but doing nothing. We should look into this and employ some of them. They will be important to this company as well. And I thank Mrs. Adewumi and his office, everybody in that office, I appreciate them. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, madam. Any more women with their hands up? Mrs. Augustus, are there any more women? Okay.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, my able shareholder, and I stand on existing protocols. I will go straight to the point.
Please, tell us your names.
My name is Fadekemi Dosumu Pereira, Pragmatic Shareholders Association Secretary. On annual page 9, note 9, we are towards the last, we are the unused ordinary shares of the company. So I'm looking at that scenario, and I want to go to page 49 on key audit matters. We are the group and company plant in Shagamu with an installed capacity of 1 million metric tons per annum has remained underutilized due to suboptimal plant efficiency. I want to ask, with this money that we did not use, can't we divert it to that direction? Because I know when we cannot use, when the plant is underutilized, maybe financially is part of the, finance is part of the scenario. So I want to advise that the money we will have returned will use. Why can't we be access to this area? Another point of concern is impairment loss of 4.7 billion in relation to plants, property plants. And I look at this, it says 724 million has been recognized. I don't understand that area very well. I need more enlightenment in that direction. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Pereira. Any more women?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Protocol duly observed. The name is Prince Dr. Anthony Omani Omojola, the current National Coordinator, Independent Shareholders Association of Nigeria. We usually have a comprehensive and documented review. We have a very small one here, which by virtue of the circumstance, I will not go through, but I've tried to highlight a few things I want to talk about. And like the earlier speaker had been commending, I associate myself with the commendation that the board, the management, and staff has performed very well. Kudos to you all. Our company is good. It's a good corporate organization. The board has diverse members, and they attend meeting. I have 100% attendance in meeting, and of course the board is gender sensitive. That is very good. Our corporate governance, in terms of corporate governance, we are very compliant. We already have the stipulated independent non-executive directors, and we have a listening board who have been taking on board suggestions from the other stakeholders. This is a welcome one. Of course, we have good and sound leadership team, which is quite commendable. I look at page 21. I could see the faces. When you do this, you give room for smooth succession value. The faces there, they are beautiful. You can see some of them smiling. And of course, that tells me they are committed leaders of the company, and I wish them more successes. When you talk of funding rather, prudent usage of this fund and management of loans and bonds is very commendable, as to the finance cost is now very low as compared to the previous years. And of course, that a whopping sum of 43.4 billion was paid alone in 2021 to service these debts and make repayment is also very commendable. Look at our social investment and the CRS, total figure of 2.39 billion was expended for the services to humanity. This is very welcome, and I say continue. Of course, I urge for better management of imports. Those imports with local substitute, we should maximize them so as to reduce foreign exchange loss, knowing fully well that our own currency fluctuates at ease. So we have this 1.18 billion loss on page 105. Finally, we try to look at 5 years financial summary as in the book. The growth averagely 2% for the 5 years. But if you talk of the past 3 years, we are done maximally. Of course, profit before tax grew at 82.5%. Dividend for the current year at 2 naira is better than the one for 5 years ago, which was at 1 naira 50 kobo. Of course, our retained earning has grown by 18.1%. Finally, the overall value of our company grew by 141.1% in 5 years, while retained earnings only grew by 18.1% in 5 years. We urge management to continue to display stellar performance in order to improve on all these indices. As I calm down, I wish all stakeholders a successful AGM and our company better profitabilities in the years to come. Thank you. God bless us.
Chief Matthew Akinlade.
The chairman, board members, regulatory authorities, my colleague, esteemed shareholders, good morning. My name is Matthew Akinlade, President of Noble Shareholders Solidarity Association. I will not belabor things. I will not repeat what people have said. Like the first speaker mentioned, we don't need to waste time at this meeting. There are just few things which is not relating to financials that I want to mention. One, the company did very well. In fact, the company surpassed my own personal expectation last year. So I want to say kudos to the board, management, and staff that have produced this very important and enviable results. The first of the issue I want to touch is on the absence of KPMG. KPMG is one of the 4 biggest professional accountancy body in Nigeria. I think KPMG will not deliberately absent themselves. There must have been probably communication gap, and if you don't hear other people's side for fear hearing, I think we should not be talking of not reappointing them. For me, it will be unfair because you have not heard from the other side. The second issue I want to touch is on page 14, the list of directors. I know in the profile of directors, we mentioned date of the appointments, but probably in the list on page 14, at a glance, if you put date of appointments, at a glance, you can quickly see how long directors have been on the board. The last item I want to touch, the last issue I want to touch, is on the representatives or the minorities on the board of Lafarge. I think in the past, we used to have representatives there, but as of today, I'm not sure who represent the minorities. So if we don't have, the board should give due consideration to this and appoint representative of the minorities to the board. Thank you. I wish our company continuous progress. I identify with the accolades. Other speakers have passed on the board, staff and management. Please keep the flag flying. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I am Honorable Kola Alaga. I'm going to be very brief, and I'm not going to repeat what others had said. Mine will be observation as usual. Page 153. Mr. Chairman, I observed that complaint management report is on that page, but it was duly signed, but the names of the people that signed are not there. Number two, Mr. Chairman, page 21. Mr. Elmot Korak is said to be the country security manager. Country security manager. I observe he is a foreigner, but that is not my concern. My concern is there a Nigerian assisting him? Also on page 21, I as well observe that Mr. Ibrahim Aminu is the managing director of Ashaka Cement. My question is, or my observation is, who is the managing director, or who are the managing directors of other subsidiaries, if any? Pages 14 and 15, where we have corporate information. To his communication gap, Mr. Chairman, I want to suggest that in subsequent years, we put the telephone numbers and probably the emails of the company in the annual report, so that we and other stakeholders can easily communicate with the company. Thank you. God bless all of us.
Thank you very much. My brother, Mr. Gbengaido.
Mr. Chairman, sir, I stand on the existing protocol. My fellow shareholders, this is one meeting. It has so many lessons to teach us. First, if you are working assiduously and tirelessly for the company or yourself, do it well. Engineer Makoju, of blessed memory, he did not know that we will honor him today. The honor, you may not give him money, but the fact that the memories are there, he worked. Not only that, he worked in Lafarge Blue Circle, but that is why other people were taking Dangote or whoever. If NEPA or something at that point in time, it is that selfless service that the man gave. It's a lesson to all of us. The issue of the one of auditor this morning is a lesson. that we are to take in. I think it's Mr. Chief who wanted to say something. Let's listen to the other side. We don't know what happened. That is the situation. You plan, you do everything, but God is in control. He knows what will happen. But the joy I have is the governance issue that we have. That is the audit committee. You thought they do not have power. They have power. The chairman of the committee represents us. Whatever he says goes. That because we gave him that vote, we didn't give the executive that he's the one preparing the paper. But the person to look at it, this meeting brought it to us. The third aspect I want to do is about leadership. The chairman provided a very good leadership. And then the MD really was working with him. That's a very good teamwork. The result is what we are seeing in this annual report. It's a very, very good report. It shows that the board and management are in safe hand. We are very grateful to you for this work you are doing. Now, there is one thing I want, there are two things. First, I want to talk about the item 9. The item 9 that has to do with the unissued shares. Please cancel it. Just simple, cancel it. Why? If people are talking of bonus, I do not subscribe to it. More than 10 years I've been in this industry. I've never been talking about bonus. Why? You are paying the blood of the workers to bring dividend. The moment you balloon the shares, then the dividend goes down. So, no, please cancel it. Other sensible companies have been canceling it. There's no two way about it. Then the final one I want to say. First, I'm always apostle about our money, about that elephant cement. What is the update? If you are keeping the money in the bank, what has it grown to now? How much is it? When are we going to spend it? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Bengaido. Mr. Adegule.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Managing Director, and distinguished shareholders. I'm a shareholder like yourself, and I identify with what everybody has been saying about the progress that has been made by the company. I commend the chairman and the managing director and the chief finance officer, because without their cooperation, we wouldn't have achieved what we have been able to achieve. And I also commend the company secretary, because we got all the notices in due time, and we were able to be here, and it was seamless registering and coming in. So we commend you. Well done. And I wish the company more successes in the future, and hopefully there will be more dividend in the years ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Adegule. I think I cannot see any more hands up, and we seem to have, with the questions that are asked, if we continue line by line, we'll be here for a very long time. But I'm going to attempt to summarize some of my response to some of the questions. A lot of the advices that you have given, I'm sure not only do we have executive management here, we have the line below both Khalid and Lulu all seated here. And I take note and I join all the shareholders who have commended management and staff for this unprecedented performance. I'm happy that the people who cook the food are also seated here. They can hear what the owners of the company, the sentiments of the owners of the company and the expectation for next year. And I knew a long time that the result for hard work is more work. So I would like to join others in thanking Khalid and Lolu. You can see Lolu going up and down. Lolu has been going up and down because of the KPMG each. And, but beyond Khalid and Lolu, can Lafarge staff that are here, could they please stand up, please? Can I have the shareholders? I've not even requested. You can see it's unanimous. I was going to ask them to give you a round of applause, but so thank you. I join them in thanking everybody for this. A lot of the people that you see are proper forensic accountants. They are looking for who has taken their cheese. So every time they scrutinize, so when they come with this kind of unanimity, please know that you have done a very good job. So please keep it up. Thank you. Aside, I would want us to answer, to give response to this, but the representative of KPMG is here, and I think it will be a distraction, really. We stay, yeah, he's already with us. We will take him at the appropriate time. I think we should just go ahead with the order of our proceedings, and then we can come back to that, so that we don't continue to go in circles. Your comments on CSR and geocycle and the attempts of the company at improving the environment and the donations that we made around local, along captive area, I mean, it's very well noted. In the past, if you check 4 years, 5 years ago, you will see that Lafarge has continuously been making very huge expenditure, but analyzing it properly in the books and communicating it to the public has always been the difficult thing. So I don't think it's a new thing that Lafarge is supporting the local communities and supporting with community development in Nigeria. The only thing I think we have done in this instance or in the last 2 years is that we account for it properly to you, our shareholders, to be able to see exactly what we have done. And I think it's very pertinent that we keep this up. We need to make sure that we communicate to the public. A lot of people who do less than us take more credit. So we actually need to blow our own trumpets. As regarding whether we should advertise or not advertise, I am not going to make a comment to Mr. Okeze's very professional advice to us. Somebody did mention loan to Ghana. Everything about Ghana has come back with a profit of 143 million naira back to the company. So there's no more loan or anything to Ghana. Salaries, I can't really figure out what the question really was on salaries, but I know we have to improve salaries. We have to improve fees because of devaluation that has caught up with everybody and because of inflation that is galloping. So if the comment is on the side of making sure that our people earn a living wage and earn a wage that allows them to be able to remain responsible to their family and to their community, I think Khalid can hear it also from the floor. I'm going to leave Lolu and Khalid to do justice to some of the other matters. But suffice to say that we really appreciate all your comments. We know generally your comments are coming from your understanding of our business and your interest in your company. We've tried to be perfect, and it has shown really that no matter what you do, there can be errors. And I'm really grateful that you are able to look at us and see the honesty of purpose and allow these proceedings to go on. I really, really do appreciate that, and I believe I'm saying this on behalf of all my colleagues. I'm going to allow Khalid and Lulu to do some justice to some of the figures. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. It's great to be with you today. I'll focus on three key pillars for Lafarge Africa today, and I think we will touch on the interest of our shareholders. And I will start by gender diversity and inclusion. And Lafarge Africa is probably one of the leading companies in Nigeria when it comes to female training and recruitment at all levels of the organization. We have shifted a lot from focusing gender diversity on back office or admin jobs to be really present on the field, whether on the driving side or on the industrial side. So this is one thing that we are very, very proud of. The second point is on environment and climate. We are doing a lot of efforts in all of our plants to reduce the CO2 emissions, to develop more green products, to better treat the waste water, and so on and so forth. So this is one of the elements that also we are very proud of leading the segment and the market in Nigeria into the environment and climate challenges. My third point that I really want to focus on is the commitment that we extend to our communities and neighbors around the plant. It's not only about the COVID-19, but also beyond that. We have training schools, we sponsor children from juniors to universities. I would really advise a lot of people who can afford to pay a visit to our plant in Ashaka in the north and look at our training school over there. We extend short-term courses to long-term courses. We take people on board and we graduate them. We feed the market even beyond our need as a company to help support the community and generate more jobs for the youth. So youth, gender diversity, and climate is one of the key elements that we are focusing on as a leading organization in the Nigerian market. I'm very glad to really have big part of the team here, but they are the representative of the whole workforce of Lafarge Africa Plc, and I would extend my appreciation and gratitude to each and every employee that works with Lafarge Africa. So I would really appraise all the efforts. They are the real soldiers on the ground. They are the ones who deliver the results, and our role is to present it really. So much appreciate the team of Lafarge Africa. I have to extend my appreciation to our chairman, to the board, to the shareholders for all the support that we have seen over the past few years. I'm very happy that we are delivering our results. We are keeping your expectations, and I really look forward to a very bright future for the company. Thank you so much. Well, the CFO only plays with the good numbers, but I really want him to give a speech, a very quick speech, because he's a real partner to the success of this organization.
Thank you very much, Khalid. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, our shareholders. I'm just going to quickly address some of the specific questions asked. The first question was on cost. As we know, we have experienced a very unprecedented high inflation in the last 2 years. With COVID coming in, at some point last year, inflation was around 18%. And then when you look at Naira, Naira has depreciated by more than 50%. And if you look at our value chain, most of the lines in our value chain are affected by exchange rates. So there's significant impact on inflationary and FX pressure on our cost. However, what we've done, and we've done very well, and we are really proud of the team, it's to proactively initiate many cost savings initiatives. So if you look at our margins, despite the fact that cost, was impacted by inflation and FX, our margins improved significantly. Yes, price went up because of the macroeconomic issue that I've mentioned, but what we have done is that we've looked at every line within our P&L, we've challenged every line, We have frozen discretionary costs. We have initiated, alternative source of energy. Because if you look at our variable cost, significant amount of our variable cost is energy related. So what we've done, we've really leveraged on the geocycle business. And then we've reduced our dependency on FX. So looking at the vertical integration, looking at where else can we source, whether it's gypsum, whether it's geocycle material. And then when you look at our operating expenses, right, we still continue to invest in our brand because we need to build the brand of our, build the equity of our brand, and we've also invested heavily on our distribution network. So we've invested heavily on trucks so that we continue to deliver our commitment to our customers on excellent on-time delivery, okay, and then just making sure that our products are available in all our core markets. I think that's a summary for me. Again, thank you very much for your support. Thank you.
Thank you, Lulu. And I don't know how you got away with that. I expect that you'll still be on your leg for 45 minutes. Well, apparently, they're happy with you, so I don't know how you did it. Once again, I would like to thank all our esteemed shareholders for your comments and questions. Having dealt with the first item, we now move to the other items on the agenda. But perhaps before I do that, is Mr. Uzo Nwanko on the floor? Okay, the KPMG representative. Where? Okay. Okay. To ensure that the voting and wishes of shareholders as contained in the proxy forms are captured in accordance to Section 248, subsection 1A of CAMA and Article 59, subsection 1(2)(a) of the Article of Association, I hereby declare that voting at this meeting shall be by poll, except for the item agenda relating to election of members of the Audit Committee, for which I have just been instructed may not be necessary. Please note that ordinary resolutions are required for all agenda items. That is, a simple majority of votes will suffice for each resolution, except agenda item 10 relating to amendment of the company's Memorandum of Association. Agenda number 2, declaration of dividend. You will recall that an interim dividend of 100 kobo per share was paid on the 19th of November 2021 based on the improved financial performance achieved in our 9-month 2021 results. The board has proposed a final dividend of 100 kobo per share to make the total dividend for 2021 to be 200 kobo or 2 naira. I hereby move that a dividend of 1 naira per ordinary share amounting to 16,175,721 naira only be payable in respect of the year ended 31st December 2021. The dividend proposed is payable from the Pioneer Reserve and not subject to deductions of withholding tax. And if approved by shareholder, it's payable today to all shareholders whose names appear on the register of members at the close of business on Friday, the 1st of April, 2022. Will someone please rise and to second this motion? You have to state your name. Can you come to the microphone? Thank you.
My name is Godwin Ede. I'm seconding that motion.
Thank you. And I'll put the motion to the meeting for voting. Registrar, please give brief instruction on the use of the voting pads, and while the independent auditors will please ask as scrutineers. Is Mr. Nwako able to act as an auditor now? Are you okay? Okay.
Thank you very much, Chairman. We have distributed real-time voting devices to all shareholders present, and I will make a quick description on how to use it. If you're voting in favor of a resolution, please select the number 1 button. That's the button with the green color code. Once you select your vote, you press the OK button. If you're voting against a resolution, please select the number 2 button. That's where you have the red color code. After selecting that, please press the OK button to send in the vote. And if you're abstaining from a resolution, please select the number 3 button and then press the OK button. Thank you very much. No, I would. Chairman, with your permission, can we proceed to...
Please proceed.
To the resolution. For the resolution to declare a final dividend, we have a 30-second counter on the screen. Each voting process takes 30 seconds. Voting starts now. Chairman, the voting process has ended. With your permission, I would like to proceed with the results.
Please proceed.
Okay. For the resolution to declare a final dividend, we have a total of 100% of total votes cast vote in favor of the resolution for 15,509,750,202 units of shares of Lafarge Africa Plc. We have 0% vote against the resolution and 0% of shareholders present vote by proxy, and at this venue, vote abstain from the resolution. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Ayola. Ladies and gentlemen, based on the result presented by the registrar and verified by the independent auditor, I hereby declare the motion duly carried. So we'll move to agenda 3, which is re-election of directors. The third item on the agenda is the re-election of directors retiring by rotation in accordance to Article 97 to 99 of the Articles of Association of the company. Esteemed shareholders, 2 directors now seek re-election under this provision. They are Mr. Grant Henshaw and Ms. Karen Uzan-Mercy, who is unavoidably absent. Re-election of directors retiring by rotation will now be taken one after another. The first director seeking re-election is Mr. Grant Henshaw. Grant. And is hereby I hereby move that Mr. Grant Henshaw be and is hereby re-elected a director of the company. Would someone please rise and second this motion? Use the microphone. Thank you.
Olowolafe Kehinde is my name. I hereby seconded the motion.
I now put the motion to the meeting for voting. Registrar, could you please again give brief instruction on the use of the voting pads, and the independent auditor please act as scrutineer.
Thank you very much, Chairman. For the resolution to re-elect Mr. Grant Henshaw as non-executive director, voting starts now. Chairman, polling has closed. With your permission, we'd like to proceed with the results.
Please go ahead.
For the resolution to re-elect Mr. Grant Henshaw as non-executive director, we have a total of 99.26% of total vote cast, both by proxy and in person at this meeting, vote in favor of the resolution. We also have 0.74% of total vote cast, both by proxy and in person at this meeting, vote against the resolution. Number of shares voted in favor is 14,402,926,890 units of shares of Lafarge Africa Plc, and we have 106,887,725 units of shares of Lafarge Africa Plc vote against the resolution. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Adeola. Ladies and gentlemen, based on the result presented by the registrar and verified by independent auditor, I hereby declare that the motion has been duly carried and Mr. Grant Henshaw is hereby re-elected a director of the company. The second director seeking re-election is Mrs. Karen Uzamasi. I hereby move that Mrs. Karen Uzamasi be and is hereby re-elected as a director of the company. Will the shareholder please rise and second the motion?
Ibrude Moses. I second that motion. Thank you.
The registrar will conduct the voting process.
Thank you very much, Chairman.
An independent auditor as scrutineer.
For the resolution to re-elect Mrs. Karen Uzamesi as non-executive director, voting starts now. Polling has closed. Chairman, I would like to proceed with the result with your permission.
Please go ahead.
Okay.
Thank you.
For the resolution to re-elect Mrs. Karen Uzamesi as non-executive director, we have a total of 99.26% of total vote cast, both by proxy and in person at this meeting, vote in favor of the resolution for 14,402,899,384 units of shares of Lafarge Africa Plc. We also have 0.74% of total vote cast, both by proxy and in person at this meeting, vote against the resolution for 106,887,725 units of shares of Lafarge Africa Plc. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Adeola. Ladies and gentlemen, based on the results as verified by the independent auditor, I hereby declare that the motion has been duly carried and Mrs. Karen Uzamasi is hereby re-elected director of the company. This leads us to agenda item number 4, which is to authorize directors to fix the remuneration of independent auditors. The next item is to authorize directors to fix remuneration of independent auditors. Section 408, subsection 1B of CAMA 2020 required that the remuneration of independent auditors be fixed by the company in general meeting or in such a manner as the company in general meeting may determine. I hereby move that the directors be and are hereby authorized to fix remuneration of independent auditor for the year ending 31st December 2022. Will someone please rise and second this motion? Mr. Adegunle.
Mr. Chairman, my name is Ignatius Adegunle. I support the motion for the reappointment of the auditors. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Adekunle. I now put the motion to the meeting for voting. The independent auditors will ask as scrutineers and our registrars will conduct the voting. Okay. Perhaps before you talk, I'm completely cognizant of the implication of this motion, and it does not have KPMG attached to it at all. It is just independent auditors and allowing directors.
Yes, I do know, but they are not retiring. Since they are not retiring, and there has been an issue raised as to the service that they have rendered up to this point, I think this probably will be the proper junction in which probably we should bring them in, since they are here to also address. Otherwise, it will be like, oh, well done for doing a bad job. Continue.
I quite appreciate your position. I understand it. I thought through it. But I know that the directors, having this power, still has the power to actually appoint. And Lafarge has done that in the past. We had E and Y only for 1 year. And we switched to KPMG. So I'm completely cognizant of that, really. So I don't know what the House thinks. Yes.
Chairman, let me make this observation on behalf of shareholders. We have absolute confidence on your leadership on this board. So I want us to pass these resolutions and move on. So whatever any other issue on our behalf, you can resolve with the auditors. And express our displeasure that we are not happy. That's all. So we have confidence on the board that you can handle this matter on our behalf. Maybe next time you explain to us what happened.
Thank you. The man is here. The man will still talk. Wait. No. We are not, this is not a political, this is a business meeting. I think we should go orderly and do business and then do justice as appropriate. Thank you. Will somebody has reason to second the motion? So you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Chairman. For the resolution to authorize directors to fix the remuneration of the independent auditors, voting starts now. Polling has closed. Chairman, with your permission, I would like to proceed with results.
Please go ahead, Mr. Adiola.
For the resolution to authorize directors to fix the remuneration of independent auditors, we have a total of 99.99% of total vote cast, both by proxy and in person at this meeting, votes in favor of the resolution for 14,509,629,275 units of shares of Lafarge Africa Plc. We also have 188,979 units of shares of Lafarge Africa Plc votes against the resolution. Thank you very much, Chairman.
Ladies and gentlemen, based on the result presented by the registrar and verified by the independent auditors, I hereby declare that the motion is duly carried. Election of Audit Committee members. In accordance with the provision of Section 404, subsection 3 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, the Audit Committee is composed of 5 members, made up of 3 representatives of shareholders and 2 non-executive directors. The Company Secretary has received... You want to update me? 22? Is it 4 nominations or 22? The Company Secretary has received 4 nominations for the 3 seats to represent shareholders on the Audit Committee, out of which all the 4 are validated by the registrars and chair. All the other shareholder members withdrew their nomination ahead of this meeting. So we only have 4 contesting for 3 seats. Shareholders are to elect 3 of the 4 nominated shareholders as their representative on the Audit Committee. As mentioned earlier, voting on this subject shall be by show of hands, not a poll. I now call on the Company Secretary to read the name of the nominees.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The nominations received for the shareholder representatives on the Audit Committee in accordance with Section 404, subsection 6 of CAMA and validated by the registrars are as follows. 1, Mr. Adebayo Adeleke. 2, Mr. Ademola Adejuwon. Number 3, Mr. David Ademola Adekombi. Number 4, Mr. Bakare Yisa Adewale.
We shall now proceed with the election of the Audit Committee members. We shall now proceed with the election of Audit Committee members. Each of the nominees shall be voted for one by one, whilst the auditors and registrars stand to count the votes.
Thank you very much, Chairman. We have called the nominees out, Mr. David Ademola Adekombi, Mr. Ademola Timothy Adejuwon, Mr. Adebayo Adeleke, Mr. Bakare Yisa Adewale. Okay. For the voting proper, once I call out the names, please let's see your hands up. We'll count. We have people around that would count and would deliver the result to the chairman. Those voting in favor of Mr. David Ademola Adekombi. Please give us a minute to count the hands up. Thank you. For those voting in favor of Mr. Ademola Timothy Adejuwon. Thank you. For those voting for Mr. Adebayo Adeleke. Thank you. For those voting for Mr. Bakare Yisa Adewale. Two. All right. Thank you. Chairman will bring the results to the table shortly.
Thank you. Before the results of the voting are announced, I'm pleased to inform you that your directors have resolved to appoint Mrs. Karen Uzanmasi and Mrs. Onyekon Adewale as representatives of the board of directors in the audit committee. I now have the results of the votings carried out. Number 1, Mr. David Ademola Adekombi, 23 votes. Number 2, Mr. Ademola Timothy Adejuwon, 26 votes. Number 3, Mr. Adebayo Adeleke, 29 votes. Number 4, Mr. Bakari Isa Adewale, 2 votes. I therefore declare that the following members have been duly elected as representatives of the shareholders in the audit committee of the company. 1, Mr. David Ademola Adekombi. Number 2, Mr. Ademola Timothy Adejuwon. And number 3, Mr. Adebayo Adeleke. Following the elections, I now put the motion to the meeting. I hereby move that the following shareholder representatives, Mr. David Ademola Adekombi, Mr. Ademola Timothy Adejuwon, and Mr. Adebayo Adeleke, as well as Mrs. Karen Uzanmasi and Mrs. Oyikon Adewale, be and hereby constitute members of the audit committee. Will someone please rise and second this motion? Mr. Eric.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Eric Akinduro, the chairman of Ibadan Zone Shareholders Association. In view of the success recorded this previous year, and we are envisaging that we are going to get a better result in the coming year, I rise to second that motion for the audit committee membership.
Will all those in favor of this motion please signify by raising their right hands? Would anyone objecting to this motion please signify by raising his admission card in his right hand? I hereby declare that the motion has been duly carried. This takes us to agenda number 6, which is disclosure of managers' remuneration. The next item is to disclose remuneration of managers. Please be informed that further to the provision of Section 257 of CAMA, the remuneration of managers of the company for the year ended 31st December 2021 is stated on page 143, note 38.2 of the annual report and accounts. I will move to item number 7, which is remuneration of directors. The next item on the agenda is to fix remuneration of directors. Please be informed that as required by the company and allied by CAC guidelines, the approval of CAC was obtained for this item, being a special business, to be included as part of agenda for this AGM. In accordance with Article 77 of the Articles of Association of the company, I hereby move the remuneration of directors in respect for the year ending 31st December 2022 be and is hereby fixed at 129,520,811.80. I have not called you. You have to sit down first. I have not called you.
Okay, I'm standing here.
Mr. Okeze, sit down. Will someone please rise and second the motion? Madam. Okay, you have 2 seconds.
Chairman, because you're involved on that particular item now, let your MD move that motion and pressure over.
I concur entirely.
Yeah. In accordance with Article 77 of the Articles of Association of the company, I hereby move that the remuneration of the directors in respect of the year ending 31st December 2022 to be, and it's hereby fixed at the Naira 129,520,811.80 Naira. I move, and please one of the shareholders to second.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Esther Funke Augustine. I so second.
Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Augustus.
I now put the motion to the meeting for voting.
Thank you very
much. The independent auditors will act as the scrutinizer, the register to conduct the voting process.
For the resolution to fix the remuneration of directors, voting starts now. The polling has closed. I would like to proceed with results.
Please go ahead.
For the resolution to fix the remuneration of directors, we have a total of 100% of total vote cast, both by proxy and in person at this meeting, votes in favor of the resolution. For 14,509,626,401 units of shares of Lafarge Africa Plc. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, based on the results presented by the register and verified by the independent auditors, I hereby declare that the motion has been duly carried. Thank you.
Thank you, Khalid. And thank you, Mr. Okeze, for not allowing us to go ahead with that major gaffe. This leads us to item number 8. General mandate. The next item on the agenda is a special business requiring an ordinary resolution authorizing the company to enter into recurrent transactions with related parties for the company's day-to-day operation. Please be informed that being a special business, the approval of CAC was obtained for this item to be included as part of the agenda for this AGM. In line with international best practices and the Nigerian Exchange Group rules governing transactions with related parties or interested persons, Holcim Group, holding 16,107,795,721 shares, representing 83.81% of the company's total share, will not vote on the resolution. I hereby move that pursuant to Rule 20.8 of the Nigerian Exchange Group Issuers Rule, that the general mandate given to the company to procure goods and services and enter into such incidental transactions necessary for its day-to-day operations from its related party or interested persons on normal commercial terms is hereby renewed. Will someone please rise and second this motion? Mr. Badmos. Thank you. Let the whole world hear you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Tunde Badmos. I hereby second the motion as spelled out by the chairman. Thank you.
I now put the motion to the meeting for voting. The independent auditors will ask as scrutineers and the registrar will take charge.
Thank you very much, Chairman. For the resolution to approve recurrent related party transactions, voting starts now. The voting process has ended. Chairman, with your permission, I would like to proceed with results.
Please go ahead. Thank you.
For the resolution to approve recurrent related party transactions, we have a total of 94.88% of total votes cast, both by proxy and in person at this meeting. Votes in favor of the resolution for 957,454,994 units of shares of Lafarge Africa Plc. We have 2.13% of total votes cast. Vote against the resolution for 21,538,095 units of shares of Lafarge Africa Plc. We also have 2.99% of total vote cast abstained from the voting process for 30,156,855 units of shares of Lafarge Africa Plc. Thank you, Chairman.
Ladies and gentlemen, based on the result presented by the registrar and verified by the independent auditor, I hereby declare that the motion has been duly carried. Agenda item number 9, cancellation of the company's unissued shares. The next item being a special business requiring an ordinary resolution to cancel the company's unissued shares. Please be informed that being a special business, the approval of CAC was obtained for this item to be included as part of the agenda of this annual general meeting. I hereby move that the directors be and hereby authorized to take all steps necessary to comply with all the requirements of the Company and Allied Matters Act 2020 and the Company's Regulation 2021 as it relates to unissued shares of the company, including the cancellation of 3,892,224,279 unissued ordinary shares of the company, and that the directors be and hereby authorized to enter into and execute agreements, deeds, notices of or any other document to perform all acts, to do all such other things necessary for or incidental to giving effect to the resolution 9A above, including, without limitation, appointing such professional parties, consultants, and advisors, and complying with the directive of the regulatory authorities. Will someone please rise and second this motion? Mrs. Top.
My name is Mrs. Oludewathop. I second the motion.
Thank you very much. I now put the motion to the meeting for voting. The independent auditors as scrutineers and registrar, please take charge.
Thank you very much, Chairman. For the resolution to authorize directors to comply with the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020 and the Companies Regulation 2021 as it relates to the unissued shares of the company, including the cancellation of the unissued shares, voting starts now. The voting process has ended. I would like to proceed with the results. For the resolution to authorize directors to comply with the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020 and the Companies Regulation 2021 as it relates to the unissued shares of the company, including the cancellation of such unissued shares, we have a total of 99.99% of total vote cast, both by proxy and in person at this meeting. Votes in favor of the resolution for 14,509,627,157 units of shares of Lafarge Africa Plc. We also have 2,139 units of shares of Lafarge Africa Plc vote against the resolution. Thank you, Chairman.
Ladies and gentlemen, based on the results presented by the registrar and verified by independent auditors, I hereby declare that the motion has been duly carried. So I move to agenda item number 10, the amendment of the Memorandum of Association. The next item on the agenda is a special business requiring special resolution to amend the share capital clause of the company's Memorandum of Association to reflect the company's issued share capital. Please be informed that being a special business, the approval of CAC was obtained for this item to be included as part of the agenda for this AGM. I hereby move that, pursuant to Resolution 9 above, the directors be and are hereby authorized to amend and substitute Clause 6 of the Memorandum of Association of the company to read: the share capital of the company is 8,053,897,860.50 divided into 16,107,795,721 ordinary shares of 50 kobo each. The directors be and are hereby authorized to enter into and execute agreements, deeds, notices, and any other documents and to perform all acts and to do all such other things necessary for or incidental to giving effect to the resolution 10A above, including, without limitation, appointing such professional parties, consultants and advisors, and complying with the directive of the regulatory authorities. Would someone please rise and second this motion? Prince Olodun.
I'm Prince Adekunle Olodun. I rise to second that motion.
Thank you. I now put the motion to the meeting for voting. And the independent auditors will act as scrutineers, and Mr. Adeola, the registrar, to please take charge.
Thank you very much, Chairman. For the resolution to amend clause 6 of the share capital clause of the Memorandum of Association of the company and to give effect to resolution 9, voting starts now. Polling has closed. We'd like to proceed with the results.
Let's go ahead.
For the resolution to amend clause 6 of the share capital clause of the Memorandum of Association of the company and to give effect to resolution 9, we have a total of 99.99% of total vote cast, both by proxy and in person at this meeting. Votes in favor of the resolution for 14,509,585,663 units of shares of Lafarge Africa Plc, we also have 1,000 units of shares of Lafarge Africa Plc vote against the resolution. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, based on the result presented by the registrar and verified by the independent auditors, I now declare that the motion has been duly carried. Before I thank you and bring this meeting to an end, Mrs. Toyin Gbagi is here. So is our partner. So is our colleague, our auditors. I do not intend to speak for them, but just to say that we are happy that, because first when I was introducing and I didn't see KPMG, I am happy that you are not ill or something untoward happened. So these are the owners of the business. You probably have not faced a challenge like this. I almost faced it like 3 hours ago. So you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. And good morning, distinguished shareholders, members of the board, and all present. And I'll just like to start by tendering our unreserved apology, for what has happened this morning. I do not intend to go, through the details of that. Apparently, there's been a mix-up in the communication, but we're sincerely apologetic. And my colleague, the other partner on the engagement, has been, around during the course of the meeting. And the main reason why I'm standing and I had to leave everything was just to let you know that sincerely we do apologize. And just to provide assurance as well that the report that has been laid before you as shareholders, it's authentic, it's from us, and we continue to provide our reassurance. This has never happened before. It will not happen again. You have a commitment, to what has happened. So I just hope and that you'll find it sincerely so in terms with respect to our apology. Thank you very much, and thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Toyi. I think we should all let this sink in, really. I don't think we should start a debate to apportion. Okay. I think the MD is here. Everybody that is responsible for the business is here. They will look at it. And for every error and gaps that we have today, please take our apologies. Our intentions are to improve. That gives us some room to improve next year. So that being said, distinguished shareholders, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the business of this meeting, and I would like to thank you most profusely on behalf of the board and management of this company for your understanding, contributions, suggestions, and the keen interest in the affairs of our company. May God bless you all, and please continue to stay safe. I now declare the meeting closed. Can we have national anthem, please?
For us as Lafarge, and what I see here today is another walking the talk. It all falls under the same umbrella for us, is how truly we are committed to our people, to our communities, to our environment, to our stakeholders.
For us in Lafarge Africa Plc, innovation is at the core of our strategy. It transcends all that we do. We have fully embraced innovation, not just as a concept, but as a way of life. So we're not just only selling product, we are selling a solution. So for us, it is to build a world that is greener, smarter, and that works for all. We've just launched LNG trucks. What this would do, it would reduce pollution, it will reduce carbon emission, it would take out costs, so maintenance costs would be reduced.
The real goal behind the ideation was to deliver something that basically reduced our emission significantly. But as procurement and logistics people, obviously we also look at cost and we look at efficiency as well. It was critical to get the right partner to flow with so as to ensure the sustainability of the project.
So this initiative came out of the fact that we want to reduce our CO2 emissions when we transport our goods. If you look at the number of trucks that we started injecting, of course this will help to further deliver our products to our end users, of course in a sustainable and green manner. So for sure, from a business growth, we are increasing our capacity to deliver to our customers. This is the beginning, right, for us in this journey to green and transporting sustainably.
It is extremely impactful because with this technology, it is something that is quite available in most of the countries. So we are not awaiting a technology that is still under development, especially if we talk about hydrogen. So at industrial scales, that's trucks that can be quite easily provided. The second thing is that when you need to fill those trucks, it doesn't require a high level of infrastructures implemented in the country.
Ecologic is partnering with Lafarge to reduce carbon emissions in the supply chain and ultimately improve the quality of life where Lafarge operates.
Adébáyọ̀ ó ṣe iṣẹ́ ọ̀kadà nígbà tí ọ̀pẹ̀tì yẹn wà àráyè ṣiṣẹ́ in fact ó wà fẹ́ ti wá gan o.
àrùn jẹjẹ àárín kankan jẹ aṣáàdúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run pé Ọlọ́run ò jẹ́ kó wà fẹ́ ti ẹ̀mí wa.
The project itself is very unique. It's a tripartite partnership between the state, Lafarge PLC, and Unilever PLC. While Lafarge PLC took charge of the cost of the construction of the building, Unilever PLC picked up the bill for equipping this facility with all that is necessary for the care of those who may be using it. On behalf of the government and the people of the state, I wish to thank Lafarge PLC and Unilever PLC.
Once again, we have taken the bull by the horn, and I dare say, in time to address a global health issue that is threatening to sink our very existence. Today, we are commissioning an 80-bed isolation center here in Ogun State as part of our response and contribution aimed at supporting the efforts of the government to control and manage the spread of the coronavirus amongst our people. The project is an outcome of a partnership with one of Africa's largest building solutions conglomerates, Lafarge Africa Plc.
The new 80-bed facility in this isolation center will enhance the capacity to isolate and treat new cases of the new coronavirus infection and COVID-19. This is a strong strike to the pandemic because it contributes to the objective of breaking the chain of local transmission of the virus, limiting infection. This new isolation center takes us nearer to the goal of eliminating the coronavirus. It will assist our economy to enter a post-pandemic phase fully, thus boosting investment, productivity, and job creation.
Health and safety is a core value for Lafarge Africa Plc, and so in everything that we do, really, this is integrated. And just like we care for our employees and all the stakeholders within the areas where we operate, we're also very particular about our relationship with the government and the sort of impact that we can make on the communities where we operate.
We got ambulances from Lafarge, we got food and hygiene products from Unilever, and they did not stop that support at that stage. I want to really extend my appreciation to the management of Unilever and Lafarge.
The launch of this center is significant to us because it's a demonstration of how we are committed to building resilient communities. It also shows our demonstration to corporate citizenship as a good corporate citizen of Ogun State and Nigeria as a whole.
Because of the sustainability initiatives that we do, we've been working across the country in working with different states governments to help beef up the development in the healthcare delivery system.
We wanted to support the government of Ogun State in making sure that they had a facility that could take care of people who had COVID and as well take care of other types of ailments. And so this facility has a lot of purpose-built equipment in there. The CT scans, dialysis machine, a PCR machine for tests. And we increased the capacity of the hospital by twice its size by providing this 80-bed isolation center.
Unilever has a purpose to make sustainable living commonplace. We have been doing this for a while, and we invest in various activities and programs and initiatives to help make people and the planet a better place. So in partnership with Lafarge, we had reached out to the Ogun State government and we had put the isolation center in place.
Lafarge Africa, we're a member of the Holcim group, the world's leader in innovative and sustainable building solutions, and our focus is on building progress for people and the planet.
We are here to thank you for giving us back all those things that you have gained for us.
Today is a remarkable day for Ado-Ota local government and Ogun State in general. I want to say thank you.
By establishing this 80-bed isolation center, we are more than grateful, sir.
A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Lafarge àti Unilever pé owó ṣe gudugudu méje ìyàrá mẹ́fà. A máa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn náà ni pé ọ̀hún á ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́.
Ọlọ́run máa bùkún wọn, a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn.
Today for Lafarge Africa PLC, we are really walking the talk. So when we talk about sustainability, when we talk about gender diversity, when we talk about equality, we are really demonstrating today that we are committed to what we are saying and we are really walking the talk.
To the 31 graduates, look, this is the beginning of a great career ahead of you. So I'm encouraging you to be focused, to be committed and to be dedicated. We're really looking forward to having you in the Lafarge ecosystem.
So now you've graduated from this training course, we expect you to make the right decisions behind the wheel every single day, maybe to have conversations with your peers on road safety, the items that worry them, that worry you, finding solutions together, but also engaging maybe with the younger generations. As women, we have sisters, we have daughters, we have nieces that we can inspire to become truck drivers just like us.
I'm particularly proud of this initiative, being a female myself, and I think it's a milestone in the history of our country as well, seeing female come into the truck driving space.
To Astrid, I want to say she did a fantastic job in supporting us to refine the quality of our training, and that has brought us this far. And to also thank Lafarge Group, member of Holcim. Our chairman, I will reach out to you personally so that we ensure that we bring in more from the community.
We started then with 80 drivers, and as I speak today, Lafarge Driving School have graduated over 1,000 drivers to improve on the quality of the training that we deploy to continue to drive good behaviors and safer behavior from the drivers that we have.
So today I want to congratulate the graduates. The journey starts now to ensure that you put into practice all that you have learned, and to also assure Lafarge that the Federal Road Safety Corps will not relent in collaborating with you.
If there's anybody who is careful, it's a woman. Lafarge want to tell you thank you because you have started a new thing. And this thing you have started, I want to assure you that the vehicle inspection services throughout the country, which I happen to be the national chairman, will cooperate with you in all states where you operate.
So we are grateful for this occasion of today. And we are hopeful as it goes on, we will equally still have more women that are in this training.
You know, women, we are multi-sited, so we expect, of course, less accidents because of, you know, we are even more precise, more focused.
Today, by His grace, we have 31 of them that will be graduating today. They are not just graduating today, they are also moving on to the next level, which is called the mentorship.
We as the female truckers have been taught to be defensive drivers, and we have considered them as much. We are just here to do what we can and to do it well.
For us as Lafarge, and what I see here today is another walking the talk. It all falls under the same umbrella for us, is how truly we are committed to our people, to our communities, to our environment, to our stakeholders.
For us in Lafarge Africa Plc, innovation is at the core of our strategy. It transcends all that we do. We have fully embraced innovation, not just as a concept, but as a way of life. So we're not just only selling product, we are selling a solution. So for us, it is to build a world that is greener, smarter, and that works for all. We've just launched LNG trucks. What this would do, it would reduce pollution, it will reduce carbon emission, it would take out costs, so maintenance costs would be reduced.
The real goal behind the ideation was to deliver something that basically reduced our emission significantly. But as procurement and logistics people, obviously we also look at cost and we look at efficiency as well. It was critical to get the right partner to flow with so as to ensure the sustainability of the project.
So this initiative came out of the fact that we want to reduce our CO2 emissions when we transport our goods. If you look at the number of trucks that we started injecting, of course, this will help to further deliver our products to our end users, of course, in a sustainable and green manner. So for sure, from a business growth, we are increasing our capacity to deliver to our customers. This is the beginning, right, for us in this journey to green and transporting sustainably.
It is extremely impactful because with this technology, it is something that is quite available in most of the countries. So we are not awaiting a technology that is still under development, especially if we talk about hydrogen. So at industrial scales, that's trucks that can be quite easily provided. The second thing is that when you need to fill those trucks, it doesn't require a high level of infrastructures implemented in the country.
Ecologic is partnering with Lafarge to reduce carbon emissions in the supply chain and ultimately improve the quality of life where Lafarge operates.
Today for Lafarge Africa Plc, we are really walking the talk. So when we talk about sustainability, when we talk about gender diversity, when we talk about equality, we are really demonstrating today that we are committed to what we are saying and we are really walking the talk.
To the 31 graduates, look, this is the beginning of a great career ahead of you. So I'm encouraging you to be focused, to be committed and to be dedicated. We're really looking forward to having you in the Lafarge ecosystem.
So now you've graduated from this training course, we expect you to make the right decisions behind the wheel every single day, maybe to have conversations with your peers on road safety, the items that worry them, that worry you, finding solutions together, but also engaging maybe with the younger generations. As women, we have sisters, we have daughters, we have nieces that we can inspire to become truck drivers just like us.
I'm particularly proud of this initiative, being a female myself, and I think it's a milestone in the history of our country as well, seeing female come into the truck driving space.
To Astrid, I want to say she did a fantastic job in supporting us to refine the quality of our training, and that has brought us this far. And to also thank Lafarge Group, member of Holcim. Our chairman, I will reach out to you personally so that we ensure that we bring in more from the community.
We started then with 80 drivers, and as I speak today, Lafarge Driving School have graduated over 1,000 drivers to improve on the quality of the training that we deploy to continue to drive good behaviors and safer behavior from the drivers that we had.
So today I want to congratulate the graduates. The journey starts now to ensure that you put into practice all that you have learned, and to also assure Lafarge that the Federal Road Safety Corps will not relent in collaborating with you.
If there's anybody who is careful, it's a woman. Lafarge want to tell you thank you because you have started a new thing. And this thing you have started, I want to assure you that the vehicle inspection services throughout the country, which I happen to be the national chairman, will cooperate with you in all states where you operate.
So we are grateful for this occasion of today. And we are hopeful as it goes on, we will equally still have more women that are in this training.
You know, women, we are multi-sided, so we expect, of course, less accidents because of, you know, we are even more precise, more focused.
Today, by His grace, we have 31 of them that will be graduating today. They are not just graduating today, they are also moving on to the next level, which is called the mentorship.
We as the female truckers have been taught to be defensive drivers, and we have considered them as much. We are just here to do what we can and to do it well.